Theatrical Shenanigans with
Tony Vale.
Hello there, and welcome to our sixth instalment of this sixth series of Theatrical Shenanigans. I hope you're all well out there. For this episode, like all the others, we have a fabulous audio play and a guest to chat to, so let's meet them, shall we? My guest today is a playwright I had the privilege of getting to know during the pandemic when we both joined a weekly Zoom play reading group. His relationship with Theatrical Shenanigans goes right back to the first series when his play A Trifle Upset was part of our first season. After that, he joined us in August 2023 as a panellist for The Panel Presents before having his work featured a further 3 times. We had his play Ghostwriter be part of our first anniversary special in January 2024. His play Writing Wrongs made up a part of our mini Shenanigans series in March 2024, and his play Missing the Marrow was part of our Play A Day special back in February 2025. Outside of all of that, he's a fabulous playwright and a founding member of the Norfolk playwriting group 4x4. It's a thrill to have him here. Welcome, Tony Vale.
Thank you, Rachel. Nice to catch up with you.
It's a thrill to have you here. I can't believe it's taken me this long, to be honest. So, as always, we start at the very beginning. How did you get your start in the arts world?
Well, I kind of married into it in a way because my wife, Georgette, she and I have known each other for about 40 years. She's always been involved with local amateur theatre, acting mainly. And I've never wanted to do that. That's to say, be on stage or backstage. Often I'd be seen selling raffle tickets or making a cup of tea or something. But anyway, it put into my head the idea that I wouldn't mind writing a play. And I had a little idea for a 10-minute thing, about 10 minutes. And 2 older people on a railway station, meeting up. And I wrote that. And I thought, oh, yeah, that's okay. I wonder if there's anybody out there who might be wanting to do the same. So I put a little bit of publicity out, and I had 17 scripts from about a dozen people, sort of local to where the newspaper was. And then the whole point was a bench on a railway station, maximum 4 characters, so it was pretty easy to set up. And I managed to persuade the local theatre group, which Georgette was involved in, to actually put them on, because what can I do? I can't, it's only me. And they did. We had a cabaret night, and I met some other playwrights, and eventually we got to the point in March 2009 where 4 playwrights, and I'm one of them, set up this group called 4x4. And we had a half-hour play each at this theatre, and we managed to persuade a few of the Wyndham players as individuals to take part in it. And then it all started from there, really. But you, as a playwright, as I well know, have a wonderful collection of work. Do you have any preferred subjects that you like to write about, or genres you used to write in, or is it just a little bit of everything? Well, my first play, the one I referred to, I have worked in the field of older people care for a long time, not necessarily delivering it, but being involved in promoting it or working alongside care providers in different capacities. And with my playwriting, and it started with that one, which is called Lonely Hearts. It was 2 older people who had got to a point in their lives where they needed friendship, and one is able to kind of express that in that way. And I've always said that all of my characters, particularly older people, will have a positive aspect about them and not kind of dwell on the stereotype. The other thing, I suppose, is that I often write plays where the characters are not human. They're objects. But if one takes the premise that every object has got a kind of personality, you then get a point where certain objects interact with each other because they have to. And that's the other thing, community. That's an important element of the stuff I write, I think. But then you mentioned this briefly earlier. As a playwright, you banded together with the creation of 4x4. What made you decide that was a route you wanted to go down? Because obviously there's this reputation with playwriting being a very solitary activity. Yeah. Well, I think that is the point, actually. I'm always saying you can't do it on your own. You're writing and having written your script and got it into the hands of potentially a director, they themselves then want to introduce the actors and the lighting and the tech. And actually your play then becomes a kind of baseline. When I talk to amateur theatre people, I say, you start with the script, which is the baseline. The playwright has to work towards the baseline. In other words, below the baseline, and bring it up. And then the hope we have is that somebody will spot us with our little heads bobbling up above, saying, would you care to look at this script which I've got under here, which I've done an awful lot of work for, and is one of 100 or 1,000 that you could choose when you want to do your production.
But now, we've obviously produced several of your plays, but is there one in particular of yours that you'd like to see up on a stage, and why that particular play?
There is one, actually, and recently there's been some development in the technical theatre which is kind of caught up with my thinking. I've written a play called Cat's Eyes, and it is the character is a cat, Willie the cat, and it's his world. And actually he's got two worlds. He's got indoors with his mum, human, and outdoors where all the activity happens with the other cats, and there are threats and challenges, and also friends. I would love to see that on the stage, but I don't want to see it as a pantomime. I don't want to see it necessarily as cats, because that's already been done. I sort of want to see it like animation, but human animation. Let's create a word, human animation. I would like to see this. I can see it on stage, two separate bits of the stage with a cat flap the size of a human, where the cats go through from one side to another, so the audience knows exactly which world we are inhabiting, but actually the two worlds starts to collide.
And finally, before we move on to our play for this episode, do you have a standout moment, a moment that makes you think, yes, this is why I do this?
A monologue which I'd written quite a long time ago was accepted by the pro-English theatre company in Ukraine.
Wow.
They produce theatre in English, and these are Ukrainian actors. They set up something called Solo Play Day, the 28th of November 2025, and they were inviting playwrights all over the world to contribute to this. The theme was borders. They selected 16, and mine was one of them. And I was very pleased to hear that I actually got runner-up. It was the second one. So, I mean, what started when I wrote it as an object, one of those objects talking, it was a garden fence, a 6-foot fence, kind of recognizing that there was a neighbor dispute, and they were right in the middle, literally either side, and it just fitted that theme. And the kind of context of a garden fence in the world of community, one side or the other, it's another direction that I couldn't have anticipated, when I wrote it.
Now we move on to talk about our playwright and play for this episode. Craig McNamara began writing plays about 3 years ago, looking for new challenges to supplement his career creating award-winning advertising. He, like Tony, has also been featured on Theatrical Shenanigans before, when his play Red Nosed Drunk made up part of our Christmas special in December 2024. Craig's play today is entitled Home Office, and when talking about it, Craig says, "I was inspired by observing the tug-of-war that co-workers and managers were having about returning to the office, and used that as a hook for a personal, emotional conflict between two characters." Theatrical Shenanigans presents Home Office by Craig McNamara.
He's in here? Thank you. Kevin! Kevin, do you have a minute? Hello, Kevin.
Oh, hey, I didn't know you were there, boss. Sorry, it's these noise-cancelling headphones.
I know I'm stopping by out of the blue, but...
So, what brings you to my home office? Let me get you another chair.
Don't get up. You're obviously in a meeting or working. And this wasn't going to take long. I just need a few minutes.
Hey, did my receptionist offer you coffee or water or...
I've met your mother, Kevin. How long has she been living with you?
About 6 months. You don't want a coffee anyway. Sometimes she uses potting soil.
I never know when you're kidding.
When she says it was ground this morning, that's when you have to watch out. So, what's going on? Can't remember the last time you were here.
Well, I was on my way to work, and I was thinking, and... Did I catch you at a bad time? Were you in a meeting? It looks like you were talking to soldiers killing zombies.
Oh, how did that happen? Must have brought the wrong screen to the front. Yeah, here's the meeting. It's still in progress.
How often are you doing this in meetings?
Oh, not in your meetings, boss. Never.
Never mind, Kevin. The reason I'm here is...
Oh, 1 second. Excuse the headphones. Sorry, this is Kevin. Sorry for interrupting. Could you just emphasise that last point again? I think it's a good one. Yeah, thanks. Listen, I'll go back to just listening. Okay, boss, that'll hold them over.
Kevin, that's disrespectful.
Ah, my camera's off thin living now. Look, if it was something important, I'd be paying more attention.
How often are you doing this in meetings?
Oh, not in your meetings, boss. Never. And really, for you, I am a model of professionalism. Here, I'll show you.
Stay at your desk. You don't have to get up.
No, it's not a problem.
Kevin, you're not wearing trousers.
Oh, yes, I am. These are gym shorts. Isn't this how everybody dresses when they're working from home?
I suppose I should be thankful you're wearing anything at all.
Look at this. It's right here. These are my projects over the last 2 months. Now, look how many are closed. I'm actually ahead on all of my work.
Okay, yes, I can see that, but... Kevin, would you please put something on?
But it's Friday. It's casual day.
Kevin, this isn't comfortable for me.
Okay. Toss me those jogging bottoms from the chair over there.
Here.
Oh, you like these? There's a stripe all the way down the sides. It's very professional.
At least something here is.
So, are you here because of that thing I said in the meeting last week? Because I swear I thought my microphone was off.
This isn't about that. Wait, should it be?
No, absolutely not.
We are so different. How were we able to work as a team for as long as we did?
Well, you brought out the serious in me, and I brought out the fun in you. Hey, do you remember when we had that all-company meeting at 7 o'clock in the morning and we all showed up in our pyjamas?
Don't remind me. I still can't believe you talked me into that.
And remember when you and me ran that new business pitch and we stayed up all night and...
I'm sorry, I didn't come here to reminisce. I mean, it's nice to see you in person again, but there's something I wanted to discuss. And I'd rather not do it in the office, especially as you're never there anymore. You do remember where the office is, right?
I've got a vague memory of a big building filled with miserable people. I can't believe you've been going in all these months when you didn't have to.
Honestly, I never got used to this working from home thing. Home is when stir crazy. I just need more structure. I probably got this promotion because I was the only one they could find on our floor.
Ah, maybe you're the only one they found wearing trousers.
You know, that would have been a good place for you to say, no, it's totally because you earned it.
Oh, you want validation? Yes. Your promotion had nothing to do with your wearing trousers, although that probably didn't hurt. Anything else?
Let me ask you this. How do you think things are going in our department?
Oh, you mean since you took over?
Just generally, overall.
Oh, things seem fine from my perspective.
What perspective? You're miles away from the office. You can't see anything from here. Don't you miss being around your co-workers? Around all of us?
Oh, from what I'm hearing, you're not around there much either.
Well, there are a lot of meetings to this job, and a lot of reports and reviews and planning. I know, I probably spend too much time with my door closed.
The rumour is you're in there crying.
Is that really what people are saying?
Yeah, they weren't serious. Anyway, I said if you were going to be in there crying, you'd have had it on your calendar 3 days in advance.
Is that you having my back?
Well, I'm sure you don't need that from me anymore.
Well, no, but this was a mistake. I shouldn't have come here.
Look, just say whatever you came here to say.
Kevin, I came here to ask you to come back to the office.
Ah, is that all you wanted?
So you'll do it?
No.
Why not?
Oh, come on, boss. Why would I want to sit for 8 hours a day in a beige cube with no windows when I can work like this?
You mean with a coffee stain on your shirt?
Huh? Oh, When did that happen? Whatever. It's below the camera.
The rest of the department is coming back in again, at least a few days a week. You're the only holdout. Really, it would be better if you were around more. For everyone.
Are you ordering me to come in?
You know, I can't really do that. It's against company policy, which is apparently being set by the employees now.
Finally, the workmates are running the asylum.
That's only because the company is more worried about getting a bad online review that hurts their recruiting. It's not good for business. Or anyone.
I can't believe I'm hearing this from you. I mean, how many times did we sit around my cube and talk about the way we hated the way the company treated us like kids? That we couldn't be trusted to get our work done on our own terms. When did you become such a company person? Oh, right. Boss.
I still have a name, you know. You don't have to keep calling me boss. Frankly, it seems passive-aggressive.
I'll just put that on my next review, will we? Right after, pushes the boundaries of independence. Did I get that right?
You're determined to make this awkward for me, aren't you? Fine. I know there are benefits to the current arrangement. No commuting, no paying for lunch, fewer meetings, fewer distractions.
Oh, wait. Where's my headphones? Give me a second. Hi, guys. It's me. I'm back. Listen, I've got to bounce. We can finish the game later. Yeah. Sorry. Where were we?
Fewer
Right. Fewer distractions. Yeah. Continue.
Okay. Forget the advantages. Let's talk about what you aren't getting. Camaraderie. A shared sense of mission, bouncing ideas off each other, inspiring each other to do our
Is
best.
there some leadership course that teaches you to talk like this? PowerPoint as a second language.
Kevin, what do you want from me?
I want you to talk to me like you're talking to a person instead of a company.
You know I've wanted this promotion for a long time, and now I feel under so much pressure to get this right. There's so much stuff I'm still trying to figure out, Kevin. I feel like I'm failing at this job. I shouldn't have said that.
Why? That's the first honest thing you said since you walked in here.
I'm just asking for a little more support from you. It would matter to me a lot. You staying away from the office like this, it feels personal. Is it?
Why would it be personal? Maybe I just don't see what the big deal is about where I get my work done.
We spent years working side by side. Peers. And now we're at different levels. It has to be an adjustment for you too.
Well, I've had to make a lot of adjustments lately.
What other adjustments?
It's not... Oh, forget it. I'm doing what works for me.
Well, can't we make it work any other way? Really, I'm open to discussing this.
Are we talking about a negotiation? That's interesting.
You're not getting a raise or a promotion. But okay. What else can I offer you?
Well, let's find out. Please, take a seat, if you will.
Okay. So, where do we begin?
1 day in the office per week.
3 days.
2 days and free parking.
2 days and you can take the bus, but a 6-hour per day minimum.
5 hours, including a lunch break.
5 hours, 3 days a week, including lunch break, but not including time in the gym or the golf simulator.
We have a golf simulator now.
Which you would know if you ever came into the office.
What about weeks when there's a bank holiday?
Expectations reduced by 1 day.
What time of the morning do you expect us to be in?
Flexible and subject to team member discretion. I like to skip rush hour too.
That sounds fair.
Good. So we have a deal.
Oh, one more thing.
You're not getting a private lift. What else could you possibly want?
I want the old you back.
Kevin, I'm your manager now. You need to accept that.
You never miss a chance to remind me you're a manager, though, do you?
That's what this is about, isn't it? That's why you refuse to come in. That's why this whole attitude. You really don't like that I'm in charge now, do you?
Well, that's not what I'm saying.
When I was offered this promotion, I knew it was going to be hard for my co-workers to accept me as their manager. But you promised me you'd be different.
Different? I'm the same. I haven't changed. You're the one that's different.
Everything's different now. You know, I get reviewed too. How do you think it looks if I let you walk all over me?
Now, that's not what's happening.
You were playing a game when I walked in.
You're assuming I never did that before you became a manager.
Kevin, I came here to you as a friend.
A friend? When was the last time we did anything as friends? You freeze me out for months, and then when things get rough for you, you come here asking for my support. I'm trying to do my job at the same time as I'm taking care of a sick parent. Where have you been for me?
What's wrong with your mother?
Alzheimer's. Early stages. You think I was kidding about the coffee? It started a few months ago.
Kevin, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Well, why would you know? You don't know anything about my life anymore.
Well, how bad is it?
Some days, like today, she's fine. And other days, she's confused and angry and a real handful. I've got people coming in to help, but it's been a wild ride.
Sounds like it's been hard on you.
You know, we used to spend as much time talking about our lives as about work. We were there for each other through a lot. My dad dying, your divorce, my car accident,
My cancer scare.
my pregnancy scare. And I don't know which one of those was scarier. Anyway, now with my mum, I miss being able to talk to you like this. I miss our friendship.
I don't know what to say. Our lives are going in different directions now. It's an adjustment I've had to make too. Believe me, there were times when I wish I could
It's fine. I get it.
Kevin.
Look, thanks for coming by, but I better go and check on Mum. Just let yourself out. See, I knew when you got the promotion things were going to change. I just didn't think everything would change.
I knew this was a mistake. I shouldn't have come. Kevin, I will see you at work. Or I won't. It's entirely up to... Damn it!
I thought you were leaving.
I just can't leave. This is round 2.
What?
We're negotiating, aren't we? You don't just break it off. We've come to terms on everything else, so make me an offer.
All right. Coffee meetings, like we used to. Twice a week, 20 minutes minimum, and I'll buy.
30 minutes per availability, minimum 8 days per month, and I pay for my own coffee.
Subject matter?
Some work-related, but I have to walk a careful line here. Mostly just catching up with each other.
And what about corridor conversations?
Absolutely. Personal, but not overly familiar. Joking around? Sure. But I am still in management and can't appear disrespectful.
Off-site lunches, happy hours.
Those could be a little more fraught.
Might be a deal breaker.
Okay, a compromise. No off-site lunches, 1 happy hour, just the 2 of us. For every happy hour, we invite the whole department.
I can live with that.
Oh, and I'll try to be as open and unguarded as I can around you, but in the end, I am your manager, and that carries certain expectations, and you have to understand that.
I just want there to be less tension between us again.
I would very much like that too. And I want you to keep me up to date about your mother. I do care. So, do we finally have a deal?
Deal. You're one tough negotiator.
You're no pushover yourself. Well, I'll see you Monday then. Bright and early.
I'll be in at the crack of noon.
You do realise that eventually the company's going to order everyone back into the office full time. I've heard things. And what we agreed here today isn't really going to matter.
And most of it won't last, I know. But I got the one thing I really wanted.
See you next week, Kevin.
See you next week, boss. Laura. See you next week, Laura.
A fascinating look at the modern world of home working there. That was Jeff Tullen as Kevin and Helen Fullerton as Laura in Home Office by Craig McNamara. Tony, what did you think?
I like the whole kind of style of the play because it's very real. And I think probably it's even more realer as a result of COVID.
Yeah.
There's no mention of COVID in this actually, but the first moment I saw the script, I thought, oh, this is a kind of post-COVID play, isn't it? Because the whole business of home working has now taken on a different attitude, although it's sort of going backwards now, I think. What was interesting, my background has been in older people care, and particularly being aware of people living with dementia and their carers. This particular play reflects that, you know, a professional person who's got somebody at home that they need to look after. The alternative would be give up jobs, you know, couldn't do it. Actually, having mum being receptionist, making the tea, was a much more positive way of presenting the fact that you know, our character has got somebody to worry about when he's at work.
And I love the fact that, as you say, I first thought when I first read it, oh, this is a post-COVID thing. But then it did take on that slightly different twist in the sense that Kevin isn't just working from home because he can, he's working from home because he has to. And we, as an audience, get to discover about Kevin and Laura in the sense of their relationship and what their day-to-day lives were like before all of this happened. And I like the fact that it's not immediately a romantic relationship. They were just good friends. They talked about their lives. She obviously, well, she didn't know about his mum. It would be easy just to make it so that they're, you know, they're exes, and he's just resentful of the fact that she's been promoted. But it's more than that. It's like she's got insecurities of her own, and that's what's caused their friendship to shift so much emotionally, and now it's shifted physically because he's no longer there.
I think the relationship between them is still boss and employee. I mean, there is that sequence where there's literally negotiating between coming back into the office. So you're left with the impression that that professional relationship still exists, but there's also a close friendship kind of sitting alongside it.
Craig, as a writer, has kind of taken the stereotypes, as it were, of the male boss and the female carer and kind of flipped it on its head, and then thrown it into a dynamic that is still fairly modern, to be fair. As you say, like the idea of home working only really kicked into play because of COVID. So it's only come into place for the past, you know, five, 6 years or so. So yeah, I think it's very modern in all of those respects.
Yes.
And I love that they both have their vulnerabilities. So Kevin, obviously, because he's worried about his mum, and he's lost or slightly lost his friendship with Laura with the promotion, and Laura because she's so worried about trying to do this job. So they both need each other in different ways. And the fact that they were both able to expose that emotional vulnerability, I thought worked really well. And I really did love that negotiation over the friendship time together. Like, we have this many coffees, this much happy hour, and it's just like, it's not something I ever expected to see. Like, negotiations are part of, like, as you say, either in the workplace or maybe as part of divorce proceedings.
The other bonus, and a very pleasant one at that, is that Helen Bulletin, I know. So I've seen Helen in a lot of things. She's been involved in theatre, and that was almost a kind of coincidence that we should be talking about this particular play. You know,
it's interesting as well because when the script came to me, it was written by obviously an American writer, and I got permission from him to adapt it for British actors. And sometimes I do that because obviously if you get quite a lot of American submissions and it's all in American voices, you lose the opportunity to bring in British actors. But this, I think, works either way. Obviously, the language changes ever so slightly because there are certain phrases that we don't use over here that they use in America for various reasons. But it's a relatable scenario no matter what side of the pond you're on. You know, everyone knows about people being promoted and then changing. Everyone knows about people dealing with the stresses of family members in ill health, and because of obviously COVID, everyone knows the experience of working from home. So I think it's a play that no matter kind of where you are, it's relatable, and that's what makes great theatre for me. Like you said, it's real.
This is a very good example actually of a short play that stands on its own 2 feet. It's got things to do and say.
Yeah.
It doesn't pretend that this might be the start of something, a feature-length film or something. And it's got its own identity. I think one of the problems we have with writing short plays, as we do, you're striving to write one of a proper length, whatever that is. But if you were writing a short story, somebody wouldn't say, okay, let's see the novel then that comes out of it. I mean, and I think that's another thing that playwrights like us have to think about, is kind of fly the flag for our territory.
Well, that's the thing, is I've read so many plays where you get to the end and you think, well, now I need to know more. And that's great. Don't get me wrong, that's lovely. And there are parts of this conversation where I would like to know more. But as you say, it stands perfectly on its own, because we, as the audience, we've been brought into this relationship. We've discovered what the issues are. We've watched this wonderful back and forth of negotiation, and we're given a resolution, and you're left feeling almost uplifted, because both of them are in really horrendous circumstances. Like I say, Kevin with his mum, and Laura because of the pressure she's under, but they do have that moment at the end of coming together and going, okay, this is all going to be okay. And I think in the horrendousness that we live with a lot of the time in the real world, it's quite nice to have a moment at the end of, yeah, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, we are almost out of time. Tony, your final thoughts on the piece as a whole?
Yeah, so I think in the world of short plays, I would put this up, very high on the list. What more would you want?
Okay, we are sadly out of time. Tony, thank you for being here with me and discussing this lovely play.
Thank you very much.
And that is all we have time for in today's episode of Theatrical Shenanigans. I hope you enjoyed Craig's play and my chat with Tony, because I certainly did. As ever, if you enjoyed this episode or any of the others, then please drop us a follow, like, rating or subscribe. And if you're feeling particularly generous, then you can buy us a cocktail on our Buy Me a Coffee page. As always, we'll be back in 2 weeks with another wonderful play, so I hope you can join us then. But in the meantime though, I've been Rachel Feeney-Williams, this is Theatrical Shenanigans, bring down the curtain and saying, I hope you can join us next time. Theatrical Shenanigans is part of an RFW Scripts production, found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts and Podbean. Theme music is written and produced by Chris Cody.